Hey, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the return of Eugenia Cooney and the drama surrounding that, specifically how Jaclyn Glenn reacted to Shane Dawson's surprise series about the return. We're going to be getting into that, but I want to give you guys a trigger warning. This does talk about sensitive materials and it can be very triggering, so keep that in mind on today's episode of Exploring YouTubers. On July 19th of 2019, Shane Dawson released a 1 hour long documentary style video documenting the return of Eugenia Cooney. In this video, she talked about the turmoils, the stresses, and how difficult her journey was.
I want to hear you tell your story.
Okay.
I've never heard you say, A, that you have or had a problem,
Right.
and B, what it is.
Okay, yeah.
So I think maybe starting there, if that's not too hard.
Yeah, I think that should be okay.
This video was to document the long-awaited return of Eugenia after she tweeted. On February 10th, she tweeted, "Hey guys, I appreciate the concern. I'm taking a break from social media and voluntarily working on this with my doctor privately. Please respect that." The video portrayed Shane Dawson's approach and method he would be using to handle this type of situation.
We just want to stay away from, like I said, any comment on how they look, which I know just is hard, especially if you're like, oh my god, you look so good, and we mean it in a very earnest, like, I'm so happy for you, I was really worried way, but it can just be misconstrued and taken into like eating disorder chaos.
Now, one thing to note is that Eugenia's lawyer is present during the entire interaction throughout this video. It's important because of another video posted by Jaclyn Glenn, who says that there's always someone pulling the strings behind the scene.
Who was listening to it?
There we go. Her mom was here somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know where she went, but...
Or it was ghost.
Now, early on, it was said in the video that the lawyer was going to be present, but it was just to do some legal terms and sign some papers. However, to me, the lawyer looks way more comfortable, more like a family friend in the house. As the video progresses, she goes into detail about her struggles and how her family, her mother in particular, helped her during this process.
I guess before, there kind of would be times where I guess I realized hey, I'm not eating enough. I really probably should be taking better care of myself. And I would have people like my mom especially, and my family and my parents and everything that would be you really should be taking care of yourself better and eating more. And
Now, not everyone was happy with the way that Eugenia returned to the internet. On that same day, Jaclyn Glenn posted a video saying the return of Eugenia Cooney, the real truth, full story. Now, the way the video starts, it's that she's upset for this particular clip.
Your friends aren't doing anything, whatever, but I'm sure behind the scenes, I'm sure everybody was always reaching out and whatever.
there was almost some people that never really said anything to me before, but then later on were kind of bullying me into trying to make decisions for me.
Basically, that clip says that there were people that were trying to push her into getting help, and she felt like they were kind of bullying her. Although no names were said, Jaclyn Glenn steps forward with this video to say that she believes that she's who they were talking about. And a lot of people thought, their first thought was not Jaclyn Glenn, but the likes of Onision and Dirty Dan. One user says in the comments, "Yikes, this is awkward. I'll watch the entire video, but Eugenia never called you out by name. She was clearly talking about Onision." And as far as community response goes, you'll see a lot of this, and that was my first thought, because there was a lot of people that were taking advantage of the situation, and this is not new on the internet. As we've seen with previous videos on my channel, people seem to jump at the opportunity, and as sad as it is, this is what happens.
I mean, she has right now a seemingly beautiful recovery story that I don't want to mess with. I don't want to make seem negative. I would love for everything in that video to have been the whole truth.
In Jaclyn's video, she goes on to make public things that we otherwise wouldn't have known, things that were behind the scenes, things that do seem sort of troubling. My initial thought was this was not the best time for her to release a video like this. She says herself,
and I think right now this video is gonna piss her off.
I do see where coming from the heart, and this initiative process was very important to Eugenia's recovery if all that she says is true.
We needed her to hang out with us.
And she wouldn't leave her house. And finally we got her to leave her house. It was
Jaclyn goes on to say how they had to orchestrate a lie in order to separate Eugenia from her family. She also says that her family is manipulative and a toxic, abusive environment that enables.
So we did an intervention, and the mental health professionals showed up.
So it was the Los Angeles Psychiatric Evaluation Team
It's a
showed up
PET,
at the house.
yeah.
And they came in and they interviewed her. They asked her questions.
We left the room for that part.
We left the room just for privacy of...
We wanted her to open up and be honest with them.
Yeah, because those are real questions that they have to ask, and personal.
So like she could have, it was up to them at this point what happened to her. Like they could have walked away and said everything is fine, but they were like really concerned. So they ended up deciding that they wanted to take her into care, and they ordered something called a 5150, and it's mandatory. They take you
Involuntary
without,
hold.
yeah.
Now, it's very interesting because that is contrary to the tweet that Eugenia had posted out saying that she voluntarily went for help. If what Jaclyn says is true, then this was involuntary because a 5150 refers to the California law code for the temporary involuntary psychiatric commitment of individuals who present danger to themselves or others due to signs of mental illness. So if you haven't been keeping up, Jaclyn orchestrated a lie to trick Eugenia and her family in order to get Eugenia alone and have the psychiatric come in and evaluate her against her will. They did so and then ordered and deemed a 5150, meaning that the person they felt was in danger to themselves. They took her and put her in care. It wasn't long before Eugenia got a hold of her mother, and her mother was very angry and then called the law on Jaclyn for kidnapping.
It was really messed up.
She called the cops on me and tried to have me arrested for kidnapping.
Correct.
So when Eugenia was trying to leave, we had 2 sets of cops show up. One to take her into care and one to arrest me for kidnapping. Clearly, they talked it out, and it was obviously fine.
They go on to expose that Eugenia's mother is some type of enabling, toxic, manipulative person, and that she has an evil henchman by the name of Edgar who is always at Eugenia's side at all times. Now, you and me hearing that at face value, it seems a little bit crazy and a little bit unbelievable.
It's all completely manipulated by the mother. There is a driver, Edgar. Every hangout with friends is an orchestrated pickup and drop off by Edgar, who waits outside. And in this situation, when Eugenia called her mom and her mom was furious, Edgar came into the apartment and was banging on the door.
He like followed me into my apartment. Because I had to go out and I had to tell the mental health professionals that she was trying to leave. And he like followed me into my apartment and was screaming at me. He started banging on all of my neighbors' doors until he finally got to mine and figured out where my apartment was. And it's like banging on the door. I was terrified. Like, this was a big guy. He was screaming.
These were not people looking out for Eugenia's best interest.
What I'm hearing is what Edgar did sounds extremely illegal. It sounds like Edgar is not a driver, as they suggest, but more of a bodyguard. And it makes sense since Eugenia is a 24-year-old influencer with quite a following that she might have a bodyguard. And again, I want to point out, they say, I think, and I feel, in words that suggest that this was only their perspective. And I've been watching videos currently, and Eugenia seems to be doing so well after her treatment. And even the things that she said makes me feel like maybe there's another truth that we've yet to be seen.
Love her, I care about her. But the people surrounding her in her life, I feel like, are dangerous. And I think that they were aware of Shane's potential to cover their tracks and make this look like some kind of beautiful recovery story that everyone was in on and rooting for, and it couldn't be further from the truth. I had to fight them so hard to get her into care, and I'm now viewed as like a bully
Now, I can understand their concern if Eugenia is going back to the same toxic environment that created the current situation that she was in. It's an amazing thing that they saved Eugenia's life, as they put it.
I would have people like my mom, especially, and like my family and my parents and everything that would be like, you really should be like, you know, taking care of yourself better and like eating more, and you know, like would be like bringing that up to me. And obviously the internet, there was a lot of people talking about that.
So we have a situation where Eugenia is saying that her mother helps her family helped her, and then you have Jaclyn Glenn saying no, that's not the truth, that her family is manipulative and enabler. And if Jaclyn hadn't have came in to help, Eugenia would have not made it. That's the current thing that we're hearing. We're hearing two contradicting stories. Such a difficult situation portrayed in a way that others would see and find it in a very helpful way, a non-triggering way.
I want her I want to have a real story to be
Told.
not told. I want a real recovery story. And if she is truly, I know that she spent time after she was released. She did have the choice to leave, and it was continued, which is amazing. But this was after, like, I'm sure doctors and psychologists that had to tell her, like, this is your blood work. You're in a dangerous area right now. And this is, I don't know that it was maybe explained like that before. So
I'm sure that Eugenia, when time passes, she'll turn right around and she'll thank you for it. But it's clear to everyone that you came off in your first video so emotional. You should have gave it some time. You didn't need to react as soon as she decided to come back to the internet, because even that decision in itself was probably extremely difficult.
You know, now I would definitely say I'm doing a lot better with things now, and that now I'm definitely like trying to make sure that like I'm eating enough and not like letting things get back to the point that it was at. Wow, you're in it. Like, it definitely like seems like so much sometimes.
Now, Eugenia herself has not directly commented on Jaclyn's video, but she did say in a live stream that there were lies going around.
And I also will say to some of you guys asking some of these questions, there's a lot of things on the internet right now that are not being presented in my opinion, a very like real way, and a lot of lies. But I will say that Shane is so supportive and everything in his video. His video, I feel like, was, I think, really positive and hopefully will help a lot of people. I really, really hope that. But there are some things on the internet which I might talk about later, whether that's in videos or like whatever. I'm not sure, because if that's some of the stuff that's like going around, it's like very like kind of like hurtful to me, and a lot of it isn't true. A lot of it is crazy, but I want to like focus on positive stuff right now.
She said this after Jaclyn released her video. She may or may not have been talking about it, but as far as I know, Jaclyn's the only one that's come out with a video that was so straightforward for that. Jaclyn Glenn has came out with 2 videos since the original release of The Real Truth Full Story. We know the first one was very, very emotional, and the second one was trying to explain what the other one was lacking, and then she came out with a third video. And in the most recent one, she claims some very serious things, as well as saying that she knows perfectly well what these videos make her look like, and that she feels it's something that she knows, and it's something that she was willing to live with.
I understand a lot of people are leaving negative comments and even making videos, and I want those people to know I am not upset with you. I am not angry with you. Honestly, a lot of the things and criticisms that are being brought up, I agree with. Some of them, you know, I ran through a lot of these things in my head before pushing publish. I knew how it would make me look. I knew that it's not my story to tell, but I had to take a calculated risk, and I made the choice to say what I know.
She goes on to say that Eugenia Cooney was very afraid that she was going to kill her mother from stress, and that's why she never went to the hospital.
She was in tears because her mom has her convinced that if she goes against what her mom wants, her mom could die because she has a weak heart. She was in tears saying, if I go to a doctor, my mom could die because she has a weak heart and this will stress her out. And she lives in constant paranoia of killing her mother. She takes care of her mother, and it should be the other way around. Why not worry about your daughter's health?
What she's saying sounds like an extreme form of manipulation, and I do have a couple thoughts that come to mind. She goes on to say that Eugenia's brother even said that he didn't understand why everybody was freaking out over her weight, saying...
She said her brother told her, you look fine to me, I don't know why everyone online is freaking out about the way that you look. You're fine. Even people who don't know her have seen weird shit online that's made them worried about it. There are endless videos with endless comments online like this one from 2 years ago. I also want to say that last night on You Now, Eugenia said that her mom doesn't think anything is wrong. She said that her mom said, you just need to ignore the stuff online. I hope someone recorded that and posted it on YouTube soon. She was saying her mom is not even worried about her dying. So for those of you who think we don't need to be paying attention to the mom, think again.
If what Jaclyn's saying is true, then there's something very serious going on in this situation.
Do I want to let her have this moment and be happy and feel good about herself? Yes, with all of my heart. Yes, I do. But do I want her mom to have a moment when people aren't looking at her? A moment where the attention is away from her? Do I want to give her a moment to feel like she got away with it? No, I can't.
It's clear that there's something going on more than that we can see in this situation. She goes on to say that the reason that she wanted to speak up about Eugenia was because of a scenario that happened with her in the past.
There is a part of me that acted very selfishly in doing all of this, in posting this stuff online. I had a friend a long time ago, and it was a very different situation, but I was aware of problems in the home, and I said nothing. I didn't feel like it was my place. And almost 10 years ago, she killed herself. And I have carried that guilt with me every day. And I can't live with that again.
Like I said, there's a lot of layers and a lot of things going on in this situation, but I want to know, do you feel like Jaclyn's videos are justified and that the danger is something that need to be said right now? Or do you feel like Jaclyn went over the line? I'm going to put everything in the description below so you guys can make your own opinions about this, develop your own thoughts. I don't want you to be pushed in any direction by anything that I've said here on this video. I'm always about forming our own opinions, and that's what we do here on this channel. So if you like that, I might see you in the next video. Because that's interesting. There's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guys say. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative or interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes. As always, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video. Woo! Yeah, a lot of us have been covering, just reading the story, waiting for her return. We're so invested that we care what happens, and I just think that Jaclyn is probably she's very empathetic. She cares very much. I think maybe that much caring probably had her react in the wrong type of way, because I don't want to think that she was unhappy that Eugenia said that her mother helped her and her family helped her and didn't say anything about Jaclyn. I don't want to think that that's what this was about, but I want to know what you guys think, so don't forget to let me know. Don't forget to get your Rep Squad membership shirts. The merch store link is in the description and on the page of the YouTube channel. And if you guys have any topics that you want me to talk about, reach out to me on Twitter and let me know, because I know that you're repping. If you're not repping, you're getting. How do you do that? All you gotta do is subscribe, notifications turned on, be in the comment section to every single video, because I'm gonna be there. Greg the cat's gonna be there, and the rest of the Rep Squad community as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. Yeah. This was a long video. But it was a good one.